Hello, welcome to another good goal or bad defending Arsenal against Brighton as Arsenal lose the league title, but I might do a video about that because they didn't really lose it. They just ran out of steam, didn't have a deep enough squad, and injuries destroyed them basically. But here we are. Let's have a look exactly where we are. Looks quite decent. 1v1 here, not bad. What have we got in the box? Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, there's nowhere for him to really attack. If the ball comes in, these two can step forward and attack it. I like that. Not so happy about this guy here paying attention. His body shape's a bit wrong. He's facing this way. I really want him to kind of be facing. Actually, let's just do it properly. I'd really want him to be facing on the half turn that way. So he's seeing the ball and seeing the player at the same time. He can't see the player because he's got his back to him, but he can see the ball when he turns his head. A little bit of a 1v1 duo here going on. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Slows down a bit. Goes to react to go to him there. But as he goes there, this little young player here, he's quite decent on the ball. Watch what he does. As soon as the Arsenal player starts stepping towards there, cutting off this pass here, good decision to be honest. He's got to pick a decision to go. He picks that one. This guy goes down on the inside, a little ball, boom, there we go. All of a sudden now things change. This is the big picture. This is what we're looking at. What's happening in the box? He's got all the time in the world to pick out his spot, to do something with it. But there's not really that many options. Like, what's he going to do? Give it to this guy here? Well, he's not going to do anything. He's going to shoot at the goal. What's he going to do? It's awfully hard to find a good pass or anything here. Arm around this guy here, defending him solidly here. It's not bad overall. I mean, they're shutting down all the gaps and everyone as a unit is defending on Arsenal. I'd still want someone on the top of the box here if the ball broke, but that's just me. As we go forward, let's see what happens. Scoops the ball up. Kind of a nothing ball, really. He's still marking that guy there. Still got his arm around him. Everyone looks okay. Yeah, let's see what happens. Donk. Little flip ball out. And this is where it gets all messy. All of a sudden, everyone from Arsenal thinks that something should have happened, or I don't know. They just all seem to freeze and stop playing the football. And this is where they score their goal. Everyone's frozen. Watch what's going on. Next thing you know, boff. And he's headed the ball in the goal. Completely and utterly unmarked. Everyone's just seemed to have switched off and gone for a bit of a wander around. Let's look back a second. Here he was, quite nicely marked right here. And then all of a sudden, he stood still. He's peeled off him just enough. And this terrible scuff shot somehow bounced, lands on his head, and it goes in the net box. Yeah, scruffy goal, but scruffy goals can still be good goals. It's not really bad defending. I just class this as a scruffy goal. Let's get on to the next one. Okay, this goal here is from a multitude of problems from this player right here. Pass is going to come in, and he's the culprit, and he's going to screw it up. Right, there's many reasons why, but I'm going to try to explain a couple of coaching points that I always like to do. Draw my little square. So he can only pass in these directions here, because that's the way he's facing. People say, oh, you can only play the way you're facing. I've got a lot of problems with that. He needs to be facing the way he wants to play. And the way he's facing is down back towards his keeper, so that's the only place he can play, and that's where he wants to play because that's the way he's facing. What he really should be doing is changing his body shape ever so slightly, so his head's looking that way. These are his shoulders, and that's his head going that way. You get exactly what I'm talking about. Instead, his shoulders are this way, and he's looking that way. So when this ball comes in, what he tries to do is one of the most terrible things. I cannot stand players that I coach do this. They try to put it around the corner. Let's have a little look. Ball comes in, bosh, and he tries to go around the corner. The amount of goals that you will concede if you've got a player in your team that will do this dumb thing here, instead of taking a touch and then trying to turn and play it. Because if he takes the touch, he's in control of the ball. And then if whatever he's doing, if he's trying to fight for the tackle or do whatever, he's in control and he's there close enough. He's not here. He's just dinked the ball around like an idiot. And all of a sudden, this guy hasn't done anything. He's just stood there. It's bounced off him. It's just literally bounced off him. That's all that's happened because he's rushed around the corner, dinked the ball, panicked. He could have gone back in here. Didn't even see this guy over here. He could have just played the ball back in here. But he's rushed, he's panicked, and he's tried to dink the ball here for no good reason. And he's got caught. He's got found out by a team that plays quite high up. They press quite good. They're not a bad team, to be fair. Brighton, they deserve up where they need to be in the Premier League. They're playing well. And all of a sudden this happens. Ball goes off, dosh. And he dinks the keeper and he puts it in the goal. Here's a bit of a better angle that shows you why his body shape is so important. That's the way he's facing. That's where he's going. They're the only passes he can make, and he hasn't done any of them. And because he's trying to flip this ball around the corner, he's completely screwed it up. Like I always say, you've got to take a touch before you flip it around the corner. If you don't, you're not in control of the ball. You can afford to do that little flick when you're further down the field. And I don't necessarily mean, actually, not even necessarily further down the field, just not centre, right in the bang middle of the field in your defensive third. That's just awful. This next goal comes from a bit of a mazy run from this little wee man here on the ball. He's done well. He's, but you can just see Arsenal look leggy. Honestly, on this goal, they just look leggy. They look tired. They look like they're 2-0 down, and they know they're out of the title race. It happens in football. It happens. So we'll move it on a bit. Guy takes a little bit of a pot shot. It's terrible. Terrible, booming it right up. So guy takes a pot shot, and this is where the goal comes from. I think I've seen what I want to start categorising them in the next season and putting how many goals that same type happen. I've seen 8 so far while I've been doing these videos of this, where keeper touches it and somebody else smashes it in the goal because they're not paying attention, they're not defending it well enough, or they're not getting back quick enough, whatever the reason may be. Keeper makes a save, defender doesn't touch it, the striker does, and it's another goal. There we go. See you next time on Good Goal or Bad Defending.